As a head coach and a coach in a program that you were at before, you know about tournament play. What do you offer and what advice do you give these guys throughout the week just to get them ready, number one, mentally, I know what you're going to do physically, but not to let them get too hyped up for Friday night's game?
Well, I kind of just explained to them that I don't want them to do what I felt they did for Hagerstown and concentrate too much on our opponent. It's still just about us, continuing to improve daily, continuing to do the things that we do well. Remember what got us here. We're 7-2. We had a great year. Remember what got us here, and let's continue to work on that. We can't get caught up in Eastern Hancock does this. They played that person. They did this against them. We just got to continue to have a good, solid and stout game plan and do what we do best.
Did you go back and look a little bit last year and just kind of see some of the things that went right, some of the things that didn't go so well, and at the same time, do they kind of run basically the same stuff?
Well, actually, that's what I look back to last year and I already talked to their coach, Jimmy, who's a friend of mine. He came in and ran a complete different defense than we'd seen him do all year. So it threw us off for an entire half, and by then, we were in a hole. So I just told the kids at our meeting in there, we got to be ready for anything and everything. We're going to practice a bunch of different fronts this week, and we're going to have a bunch of wrinkles and stuff ready for anything they might throw on us on the offensive side. Defensively, we've got rules and stuff in place that if they do try to do some stuff that we haven't seen yet, I still feel comfortable that we're going to be okay and in a good position. But once again, want the kids to concentrate on us and improving what we do every day.
You've got some guys that did not play in last year's game, and you also have some guys that haven't been in this situation before where it's you either win or you go home. What advice do you give them this week?
Well, first off, just enjoy the moment. I think Indiana, our high school tournament's incredible. I know there's a lot of people that don't like it, but the randomness of the draw is something that's special to me, and every team's in. And having been at Cecina, where there was years where we were 4-5 and went to semi-state. So, the regular season record doesn't matter at all. So that's why I told them, too, we're 7-2. That means nothing. Everybody's 0-0 right now, 0-0. So I just told them to have fun, enjoy the moment. We got a home game. We're real excited. The band director came up to me and said the band all decided they want to make sure they play it. They haven't played the sectional in years past, but they're real excited and want to be there. And I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, and I really want us to get out there and get a taste of a playoff victory.
There is something different about the tournament, whether it's basketball or football or whatever. Just the whole thing feels different.
Yeah, it's just something special that I remember it being as a player in all the sports. I think the football and basketball tournaments are just something they really are different than any other sport we have, and the buzz and the atmosphere and the crowds and everything. It's a really fun thing to be a part of. And for our seniors, I really want to go out there and get them a playoff victory because they've been such a big part of this turnaround we've had, and I want to make sure we send them off on a high note.
Eastern Hancock, I looked at their numbers today, I look back at some of the teams you've played. They might be as equal pass run as anybody you've played all season long. Would that be correct?
Yeah, they definitely come out and they look to establish the run. Their zone team and their quarterbacks, he's just a great football player. He's a 3-year starter there. And he's putting up incredible numbers both in the air and on the ground. And don't let his size fool you because his heart's just as big as a 300-pounder. And they got some good skill players. And I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but number 3. And then the number 88, that's a sophomore. They move them around a lot. They'll split them out, throw them the ball, put them in the backfield, do a lot of zone read. But in the end, it's going to be about that quarterback. He's just a great football player, and he's probably the best I've seen at this level at extending plays. He reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson in the NFL. He's never, when you think he's down, he's still not down. So we talked to our D-line about them having a big night and being disciplined and staying in their pass rush lanes and the kind of effort it's going to take to beat these guys.
And they have not one star running back, but they have several good running backs to choose from.
Yeah, they've got, I believe, they've got 3 guys that have over 300 yards rushing. And a couple with 400, and that's not counting the quarterback. So if you count him in there, and then even in the receiving department, they got 4 guys, I believe, that have over 200 yards receiving. So it's not one guy they're looking for. They can hit you in many different ways. They're a very talented team. So if we're gonna have to be very disciplined, and a lot of times you can go and say we got to shut down this kid. Can't do that this week.
Talk about their defense. What do you see that certainly concerns you this week?
They're just very disciplined. They're a very disciplined football team that's going to be in the right places and stuff. And that's why I told them we're not going to have to out-coach them, out-gimmick them, out anything. We're going to line up and we're going to have to run the ball right down their throats. And if they stop us, they deserve to win. So it's going to be that type of ball game. And last year, I thought we matched up with them athletically, but they out-physicaled us. And that's one thing I told our kids in there. I said, you got to make sure that let them know that last year was a mirage. That's not who we are anymore as a program, that we got to go out and hit them in the mouth and play physical bulldog football.
Are you looking forward to this? Just kind of see how your team reacts on Friday night?
I am, and I want to see how our team reacts. And like I've been saying throughout the interview, is I want to make sure that see if we progress to what good teams do, and that's concentrate on us, attention to detail, things like that. Because if we do that, I know we're going to be in position to win this football game.